Shalom from Israel. We are, I think, less than an hour away of starting our 25-hour fast. And I just wanted to get a quick message off to you, a message of heartfelt appreciation for all of you, our listeners at Torah for the Nations. This is a time when we are thinking of all of the horrible things that have happened to the Jewish people, from the destroying of the first temple, the second temple, the Spanish Inquisition, the Holocaust, every horrible imaginable thing that seems to happen on the 9th of Av. And so the 9th of Av is a fast day for us. But I want to say that because of the work that we do with the Noahides, we are privileged to have this good news that a lot of people don't know about, because, you know, the news is always on what's wrong, what's going on in the world that is chaotic and the bad news. But it's so amazing to see what is also happening. You know, there's nothing better for a teacher to have a student that is interested in what they have to say, a student that is asking questions. And so there's something going on in the world where people are actually turning to Jewish teachers to learn about God. And so this mandate that the Jews were given so long ago at Mount Sinai to be a light to the nations and to teach the nations about God, it's happening. Like, all the prophecies are being fulfilled, where 10 men from the nations will grab onto the Jewish men and say, "We want to go with you, for we know God is with you." And every day we read in our prayers that a day is coming where every single creature that walks the earth is going to recognize and know the one true God. And so if you are a Noahide, my experience is that you have probably come out of Christianity, and you have probably had beautiful, well-meaning people that you grew up with, that you went to church with, that are wondering, where did you go? Why are you not coming to church anymore? And they're really concerned about you. And what happens is we start learning. What happened with me is I started learning online on the internet from a Jewish teacher. And I started learning things about God, and I learned a different way of relating to God. And it just grew and grew inside of me. And 2 years ago, I converted to Judaism. But I also found out that that's really not the goal, that Jewish people, the message of the Jewish people is not to get people to convert. And so many people have the same journey as me for most of that, where we were raised in Christianity, and then people ask us, our beautiful, loving Christian friends will come and they'll invite us to church, or they'll invite us to things, and they'll say, where are you? And they feel very upset, disappointed that we're not part of Christianity anymore. And it's hard to have those conversations. It's hard to tell them that we are now not going to a priest or not going to a pastor to learn about God, but we are learning about God from the children of Israel. And so it's a shock at first for us as well as them, because when we start to learn from the children of Israel about who God is, we have this this horrible realization that everything that we've ever been taught has been off, and we have to relearn. And then, but we want the truth as much as we want air, so we keep going forward. And so this is what we have now here. We have this Torah for the Nations. For all of you, most of you have come out of Christianity. You have sought the children of Israel to teach you about God. And it's so surprising, pleasantly surprising, for the Jewish people to realize that more and more people are looking to them to teach them, to tell them about God, because this is what the Jewish people are here for. And it's finally like a farmer, I think, how he feels when he finally sees the produce coming up. It's like we are so thankful for the Noahides. And the question was asked, how do you define a Noahide? And to me, it's like in the end, everything is going to come full circle. You know, at one time, the only people in the world were Noahides. There was Noah and his wife and their kids, and God gave a covenant with them, the covenant with the rainbow, and he told them to keep the 7 Noahide laws. And then there was, through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, there was the children of Israel, Jacob, who's also called Israel. That family was given a covenant at Mount Sinai. So we have the children of Noah and we have the children of Israel. And it's all going to come full circle, and that's all there will be at the end, is the children of Noah and the children of Israel. So if you are a Noahide, you've already realized this. You've already had your shock. You've already come out of Christianity. But one day, every single creature that walks the earth will have this realization that the God of Israel, that's what it's been forever. That's who the Jewish people are, the light to the nations. We are supposed to be learning from the Jews, and everything will click into place, and there will be this oneness in the world. Imagine that, because you know there's so many denominations and so much separation, and imagine a time when all of us are on the same page and all of us see God exactly how he is, and there's no separation, there's no question of who he is. And that day is coming, and it comes sooner for some than others. If you are a Noahide, you've already woken up to that. You've already realized that the children of Israel are the light to the nations. That is where you go to learn about God. And as a Jew now, it is it's just, I feel such gratitude for those from the nations who have latched on to the Jewish people, joined forces with the Jewish people, come to the Jewish people to learn about God. But one day, every single person will have this realization and this recognition. Every single creature that walks the earth will recognize and know the God of Israel. So even though we are about to have a 25-hour fast about not being able to fulfill our mission in the world, having our temples destroyed, wanting people to wipe out the Jewish people from the face of the earth, we know it's happening now that more and more people are coming to this realization that everything will come full circle. Everyone will either be a child of Noah or a child of Israel, and we'll all be together. The Jews and the nations will all recognize and know the one true God. So I'm very thankful for all of you Noahides. And I know that it's hard to have those conversations with your loving, beautiful, sweet people that have been in your life your whole life about your new way of thinking, your latching on to the Jewish people for your spiritual advisors and mentors. But one day they're all going to do that also. So just know that, and just be patient, just be loving, and just keep on doing your acts of kindness and everything that you learn to do because of the commandments that the God of Israel has commanded you to do as part of the nations. Well, we all have a role to play here. Surely not for everybody to become Jewish, but it is for everybody to turn to the children of Israel, to be the light to the nations and to learn from them. So as I go into this fast, I just wanted to have this moment with you to tell you how grateful that we are here at Tour for the Nations for you appreciating us, letting us be in the role that we were meant to be, to teach you about God and his laws. And as we're mourning all of the bad things that happen, I also want to take time to acknowledge the things that I'm truly grateful, and that is you, all of you Noahides that have grabbed onto the children of Israel, have joined forces with us. So be blessed in every way. I love you. So thankful for you. Shalom from Israel.